Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon. Happy Monday. So today I am bringing you guys your weekly reading. So just take what resonates and get rid of anything that doesn't. What we're going to be doing here today is we're going to take the pages out of the tarot and we're going to ask the pages what we need to know in relation to that suit. So it'll be a pretty complete reading going into a lot of different energies. So the decks I'll be using will be listed down below. And this beautiful organite is called the Hand of Protection, created by Michelle from Wingham Bell. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has just been so wonderful, kind, just, sending me messages with your own wisdom in regards to the changes that I'm making on my channel. I know that not everybody is feeling the vibration, but those that are, I feel, are getting the messages that they need to hear. And I just, things are obviously constantly shifting and changing just with us as people. And, where I'm at today might not be where I'm at, let's just say next week. But where I'm at right now, I feel really good. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be on my spiritual journey, as well as the things that I'm offering to the collective and just what I'm focusing on just in this community. So I hope that you guys are vibing. If not, lots of wonderful readers out there to choose from that are all, just of different walks and just different philosophies and belief systems. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into these messages, you guys. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the Page of Pentacles. So this particular deck is called my Arrows of Love Tarot, and I have named the pages Youth. So this is the Youth of Keys. The keys are the Pentacle suit. So let's take a look at this. What are pentacles, right? And what are pages? I don't know if I've actually already mentioned this, but I see pages as new beginnings. I see pages as ideas. Pages can also be messages or just offers, basically. So when it comes to the pentacle suit, the pentacles is earth. The pentacles are things that are tangible, things that we can touch, things that happen in our 3D reality. And it may even be finances, money, even our physical bodies. So we're just going to rely on the cards to bring forth whatever messages that we need to know today in this particular area. So this will be for the week, you guys. What does the Page of Pentacles have for us this week? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this deck is called The Witchy Way by Fire Witch Tarot. Let's see what the Page of Pentacles has for us today. Now, this is a shiny deck, so there might be a little glare. I want to make sure that it's not too glary. You guys can probably see my background in there. But we have Nocturnal. Okay, interesting. So let's read this. So without too much of a glare there. Fix your schedule to work around the night if that is when you feel the most alive and tend to function 100% better. Fly with it and be at your best. I know a lot of people that are night owls. I don't happen to be one of them. I probably was one of them when I was younger, but not so much anymore. Mr. Moon and I are in bed by 8 o'clock at night and we are up at 5 a.m. every morning. So I guess when you're old like us and you're on a schedule, you can't really be nocturnal. But there's lots of people that prefer to work graveyard shifts. And so there could be some sort of an opportunity that's popping up in the work field where you have an opportunity to do something new and different, but it happens to be like an overnight shift. So I feel like this message is telling us that this might actually be something that we could try, something that might work for our lives. Or maybe just carving out a few hours in the night when everyone else is asleep and just taking that time for yourself, whether that's to read a book, whether that's to work on a particular project, whatever this is. I kind of sometimes find that even after Mr. Moon goes to bed, I'm kind of up on my phone and I'm looking at just different things and I'm really kind of brainstorming. He's snoring next to me and it's just easy for me to just zone in on myself and just really get in that mode of just, putting on my thinking cap and brainstorming ideas. So I feel like that's a little bit of that message as well. Some of us don't actually have to be like working, a graveyard shift, but taking some time as like a little bit of a ritual at night to where you really have that time to think about what you want to do and birth new ideas and kind of think of new ways to grow and, work on a project or something like that. So that's very cool. Let's see what else wants to come through. This is called the Zodiac 108 Oracle. What else wants to come through for this nocturnal energy? Ooh, we have happening now. So this is kind of cool. It says the situation or event is in question is occurring right now. So right now there's maybe even something that's coming to you in the form of a dream. I'm getting that too. You're getting some kind of information that is allowing you to take the next step or to grow in some sort of way. So don't discount information that comes to you while you sleep. It doesn't even have to be a dream, because sometimes I get information and I'm kind of like in that twilight state where I'm not quite sleeping, but it's like spirit is communicating with me and downloading information to me. So I kind of feel like that could be something for you guys as well. But there's something that's happening now. There's something where you could carve out time, maybe in the evening, to do something in relation to what you want to create in the physical world. Okay, that seems to be the message. What else do we need to know? This is my Spirits of Darkness and Light Divination deck. We have Zombie Spirit, control, empty, and submissive. Wow. If there is something that is causing you to just feel empty, where you're just kind of going like a zombie through the motions, it's time to ask yourself, am I happy living in this existence? I'm getting here for a lot of you. No, you're absolutely not happy living in this existence. This could even be that maybe some of you guys have taken a graveyard position and it's literally just like, I just cannot function in this type of situation. So we're being asked perhaps to maybe look at other opportunities, or kind of think about other ideas and ways that we can turn things around. Like right now, my brother, he's working a graveyard shift, he was looking for a job and that's all that was available. So he hates it. So this really, for me, kind of applies to him in that state where it's just like, we need to make sure, like, are we even living our lives? Are we even like in the present moment? Are we just so busy, just being so tired like a freaking zombie that we're like a slave to our job, So there's some kind of information here about, if we aren't happy in our particular state, it's time for us to try to figure out how to make these shifts right now, because something has to change right now. You can't continue to live in this way. This is not a good thing, okay? And for a lot of you, it could just be that you're looking to transition perhaps into a different situation. So it might require some of your hours at night to put this energy forth, to make something happen, to make a shift, to make a change. All right, so this is my Arrows of Love Tarot. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, I love this. This is the Queen of Pentacles, you guys. So the Queen of Pentacles is connected to the sign of, why am I getting this wrong? Not Taurus. Capricorn. That's it, Capricorn. I couldn't think for a second. So this is, to me, definitely about your abundance. It's about the way that you make money. But it's also about you feeling good about what you do as well. That's really key here. And I like that it has keys. It's really key here. Okay. Abundance is not just physical. It's about how we feel about that, how we feel about what we do. Again, if we're just doing things because we just have to, gosh, the payoff at the end of the day just isn't really that great. And I got to tell you guys, I've been functioning in that energy for quite some time. And it's not to say that everything that I was doing before was just so awful, but it's like I got to a point where I was like, something doesn't feel good anymore. And if something doesn't feel good anymore, then why the hell am I doing it? So I knew that when I started making some of these shifts and changes, that it was going to affect my financial abundance. And it has, let me tell you. But money isn't everything. It really isn't. And so for me, I had to ask myself, what is more fulfilling to me? Going like plugging into a certain frequency that feels right for me, or continuing to plug into a frequency that I'm just not really all about, but it's like it's helping me to kind of stay afloat. I'm just surviving at that point. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to feel good. So then the only reason that I'm sharing my stuff with you guys is because sometimes when we do these readings, it's great that these cards come up, but sometimes it's nice to hear somebody else's perspective of what they're going through. And this to me is happening right now. This has been happening for a long time. 2021 was one of the toughest years for me, just with my own spiritual, just who I am, what I'm doing here, career, everything. So everything that's happening to me right now is actually happening for me. It's not happening to me. It's happening for me. It's helping me to open up my eyes to say, is this how you want to continue to live? Or do you want to be in this beautiful, abundant energy where you feel good and you feel like you're making a difference and you feel like you're growing? Or do you just want to stagnate and stay asleep for the rest of your life? Not really, you know? So let's go ahead and get a couple more cards here. Oh, see, yes. Oh, I love it. The Two of Swords. Do we want to stay stuck in a rut? I don't. I would rather just fly ahead and just feel free than feel bogged down by a lot of stuff that I just don't feel good about anymore. So I know that a lot of my collective right now that are still resonating with my readings are tired of being stuck. So if you feel stuck in any way in your physical life, that doesn't have to just be about money, you guys, but for a lot of you, it could be your job. There's something that's happening to you right now that's trying to get your attention to say, you know what? It's time to put the focus back onto you. Do you see how she is pointing the arrow towards this person here? That's you. That's the person watching this video right now. So the focus needs to be put back on yourself. Are you even happy? Are you stuck in a rut? Are you stuck in a hopeless situation? It's never too late to pull ourselves out. It's never too late to change our lives for the better. You know, are there some things that could be affected and where we're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle that. Guess what? We can handle it. We can handle it. The universe, God, does not give you anything that you cannot handle, you guys. So to me, it's saying take the leap. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job here. I'm just saying, if there's something that's making you unhappy, really look at that and address it and figure out what you want to do, because the zombie state, that's not what you want. Yep. There's something that has a hold of us. This is a tough one. And I'm not here to say that I don't, having a partner, okay, I have Mr. Moon. Having a partner does make things easier. So when things kind of go to financial shit, which they somewhat are for me right now, I have him to lean on. So I know that not everybody is in that situation. So I definitely don't want to be, I can't think of the word I want to use. I don't want to not be, I don't know why I can't think, but I just want to be sensitive to that. You know, I know it's not easy to just say, well, you know, I'm in the situation. I don't want to be in it, but you know, just leave, you know, just get out. It's not that easy all the time. But the thing is, you guys, whatever we put our minds to, whatever we're praying about, whatever we're working on, if we really, really want to make something happen, all of those energies will start lining up in our favor and it will happen. But we have to believe that it will happen. We have to believe in ourselves. And that's why I feel like this arrow is pointed towards us, because it's telling us we have the power. Whatever has this tight grip over you doesn't really have power over you. It's just an illusion. The Four of Pentacles. It just feels like it's controlling your life. It really isn't. We're allowing it to control our life. It's had a tight grip on us maybe for a long time. So it's not like we can just snap our fingers and just get unstuck, even though sometimes it does work that way for people. You just have an epiphany and everything is just released and you're like, wow, I can't believe it. It feels like a miracle. That does happen sometimes, but it doesn't happen for everybody. Some of us really struggle with this tight grip on ourselves for a very, very, very long time. And when we are stuck in that, whether it be attached to a person or an unsatisfactory relationship or job or just whatever situation, way of life, like right now, I feel like I'm trapped in my overweight body and I have the keys to unlock the door and to start losing some weight. And it's not about looks anymore. It's more about health. I have the keys. I'm just not using them. So I know I have the power, is my point, to start making these changes. And you better believe I'm going to start making these changes, especially with some of the things that my father has just recently gone through, where I'm just like, whoa, you know, things like that could happen to me. That kind of scares the crap out of me. So maybe it's time for me to make some changes, you know? Anyways, so let's go ahead and continue on with our messages here. What else do we need to know? We're going to go ahead and get a Signs from Spirit message here for us. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's interesting because I just posted this morning on my Instagram. If you guys follow me there, it was a quote about wasting. wasting precious time in our lives. And then the song that I chose for it on Instagram was a song by Carrie Underwood, which I had never heard of before. And I think it was called Wasted. And it was just so perfect because it was like, how much time are we going to waste on addiction? Or how much time are we going to waste on people or excuses, things that are keeping us stuck, or I should say, things that we're allowing to keep us stuck? Because it really is a personal choice. It really is. How much time are we going to let go by before we realize that time is precious? You know, we have this one shot while we're here. Let's make the best of it. Let's not sit around wasting all of this time. If you're not living a satisfactory, happy life, it's time to start figuring out what you can do to make these changes. So this deck is called the Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle deck. I'm going to kind of just wrap up the Page of Pentacles message for us. Oh, we have awareness. Forget-me-nots. So these are specific flowers here. It says, forget-me-not wants to raise your awareness of your connections, not just to loved ones, but to all beings in all realms, including yourself. When you can understand this connection, you can let go of your fears of loneliness, isolation, and separation because you realize the true immortal nature of your divine soul. To me, this is kind of connecting me to my reading that I did on the Divine Feminine. I think it was on Saturday I released it. It was connecting, reconnecting to your divine creator. Okay, so this is about realizing that connections are connections, right? These people that we meet, but it's not just about the loved ones that we have in this life. This is about not forgetting who created you, not forgetting this just beautiful miracle of life. And it's about being in that energy, being aware, being more aware than you were before, that there's so much more to all of this than just, you know, the material, these relationships that you're having, this pain that you're experiencing. There's so much more to life than just this. So I feel like we're being asked right now to really start to search for what kind of life we want to live. And once we do that, that will start being reflected in the healthier choices that we make. Healthier people will start to come into our lives. Healthier opportunities will start to come in. What we want will be available to us because we're shifting our vibration. We're changing our awareness here. We're looking at things completely different. We're also looking at the glass half full rather than half empty. I'm getting that as well. So I'm not sure if that was helpful to anybody, but there was the message for the Page of Pentacles. Now let's go ahead and go into the Page of Wands. So what is the Page of Wands? The Page of Wands is exciting. It's fiery energy, passion. So it says arousing, things that arouse our attention and arouse our interest. These are things that we get our creative juices flowing, ideas that we have, things that are just like, whoo, I'm super excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Kind of, that song for whatever reason is coming in. So let's go ahead and just get a message here. What do we need to know about the Page of Wands, this fiery energy for this week? Premonitions. Oh, I love it. Okay. So this is about the ideas. So what are pages? Pages, like I said before, are related to ideas. So this is about your premonition about particular ideas. You are being communicated with the divine or from the divine with these downloads that you're receiving. So it says, strong visions and feelings of what's to come, what to avoid, and mentally seeing something you can't explain, being highly aware of the unknown. So pay attention, you guys, to your ideas. Pay attention to the feelings that you get about things or situations or even people, because Spirit is speaking to you. Spirit is trying to guide you towards what is in your best interest and highest good. That is never a bad thing. What else? Yep. Look at that. Spirit of the fly. If it stinks, that's because it's rotten. Okay. And to continue to try to, hold on to that stinky whatever it is. It's just telling you here, you got to trust your feeling. If something feels off, if something feels dead, again, it's that zombie spirit. How long are we going to continue to be submissive to our pain? How long are we going to continue to just invest in things that are over, things that are just gone? How long are we going to hold on to the past? So this is telling us we need to, like that youth, we need to be reborn. We need to start going towards things that make us feel alive. And it's not just people or things, it's just feeling alive in general. That's what we're being asked to do. What makes us feel alive? We have repairman. I really like this because the thing is, without the dark, you guys, you wouldn't know the light. So it is necessary, because sometimes we have to feel a certain way. We have to feel a little uncomfortable to realize, what do I need to repair? What do I need to heal? What do I need to work on? Where do I need to reset? Also, these premonitions tells us, what should I be careful of? Because it says proceed carefully. So this is about upgrading our energy, restoring our energy. This is about leveling up. So we're no longer going to put our passions and our energy into things that are trying to die off. Spirit is trying to tell you that there's something in you that perhaps was broken, which is why you were so invested or why you felt so passionate about this one thing. Sometimes that passion, and I know that came up in, if you guys are followed my other reading here, that particular reading was talking about things that were, that were seductive. It's like that seductive energy. And it's not to say that all that type of energy is, bad or a negative thing, but sometimes we are seduced or aroused by things that actually aren't good for us. And sometimes we go towards those things because we have a lot of trauma that's unresolved. So I really feel like Spirit's telling us it's time for an upgrade here. And we have it right there on the card. It's time for an upgrade. You already know this, you guys. So some of you guys maybe are just getting this confirmation through this reading. It's time to upgrade the energy here. It's time to no longer slum. You're not a fly. You don't have to land on what. You don't have to. You can choose to, but it's just a regurgitation process. It's the same old crap. I love that. That's coming through, that fly. Okay. What else? Oh, it's time to create. See? The pen. Pick up that pen. Now, for some of you, it doesn't have to be a pen, but it's saying we can create whatever it is that we put our minds to. We can, and it's all about co-creation. It's about co-creation with your divine creator. It's about asking, your divine creator to help you to, lead the way, basically. Lead the way, show me the way. And I will do what is channeled through me. I will do what I am inspired to do. So I feel like for a lot of you guys are shifting more towards this, like, letting go of the control, letting go of the needs of all of these things around you, because it hasn't really brought you any kind of lasting happiness. You're willing now to move through life in a completely, totally new way. I love this. It's a lot of freedom here I'm seeing. Let's get some tarot on that. Oh my gosh. Life review. Hello. The Judgment card is ruled by the Pluto, and Pluto is death, Scorpio energy. Absolutely. There's a huge redo that's available here. There's something that's just completely, maybe something that you were super passionate before, something that you never thought that you would stop feeling passionate about. Suddenly you're just kind of like, I'm over it. I don't really feel the need to obsess about that anymore. I don't feel the need to like really put any energy or time towards that anymore. I'm just not feeling it. Guys, anything that you're not feeling anymore, that's because your spirit's trying to shift you into another direction. Those that continue like the zombie to just follow it and just kind of show up every day and just do the bare minimum and you're just like existing, that's when things start to stagnate in your life because you're no longer plugged into life. You're plugged into darkness and death. As in you're just basically not even feeling any sort of way. You know, I've been in that mode many times in my life, and I was in that mode pretty much all of last year or this year. And I'm coming out of that. Yep. The Four of Cups. I love it. Four of Cups means I'm just not feeling it anymore. There's just nothing. I'm not satisfied. There's something more. So I feel like you guys, there is something more for you than maybe just this journey that you've been on or the way that you've been going about a situation or kind of like what you thought about something just didn't turn out to be that way. So it's just kind of like, nothing came from it. I feel really disappointed. I feel really just empty. There's a reason. That inner compass inside of you is telling you there's something else. There's something better. There's a different way. Open your mind. Everything that you've gone through with this life review, judgment, has all been for you. But guess what? The Judgment card is also resurrection. So that's also connected to resurrecting. Christ came through the reading last week as well. So that resurrection in Christ, there's just a lot of things that are going on right now spiritually for people, you know, that I just feel like maybe we're opening our hearts to other things, other concepts, other avenues. We're willing to look at different pictures to hopefully gain some sort of wisdom, insight, and peace. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that when we're on a one track, you know, it's just tunnel vision. Nope, this is it. This is the only, that sometimes, you know, can lead to frustration and stagnation because we're just so focused on one thing and we're not willing to open our minds to anything. Oh, see, the Divine Feminine, that's the reading I did for you. So I feel like Spirit's confirming for us that reading that I did on Saturday for the Divine Feminine, that those of you that resonated with that, this is also your reading this week. Okay. But this is the Empress. What is the Empress? The Empress is the mother. The Empress is creation. The Empress is birth. It's birthing something new. Do something new. Create something new. This abundance is yours if you really, truly want it. Okay. If you really truly want it, it is yours. So we're going to go ahead and get one last card for this Wands energy, which is the Fire. I feel like the fire has died out for a reason. It has, but guess what? Now, all of a sudden, there's this new burst of energy that's coming through with this vibrance, right? That's what the word is, vibrant. Bee balm. Add some spark to your life. Yes, the Wands. Fire is spark. Love it. It says, Bee Balm encourages you to let go of inhibitions, cut loose and be passionate and sing your song at the top of your lungs without judgment. Each day is a gift worth celebrating. Bee Balm reminds you to show up and embrace the potential of your own life. No excuses. So that's the thing. No more excuses. Let's start living the life that we deserve. The opportunity that we were given in this life to really, really be happy and to find our way. So we're being asked to really trust our energy right now because our energy and that inner guidance or that inner voice and all these things that are coming to you guys in the form of just visions, thoughts, dreams, anything, it's all the divine leading the way, helping you to get to your next step towards peace and happiness. I love it. So trust it. That's what I'm getting here for you guys. Trust it. All right. So now we're going to go into the Page of Swords, the Youth of Arrows, confronting. So what is the Page of Swords to me? The Page of Swords is somebody who's kind of in his head contemplating and trying to figure out his next move. So really confronting even some of those fears and really analyzing what makes him tick or how he can get to this avenue, or how he can go down that road or open up that door or that pathway. Really just kind of going through everything, reviewing everything. So let's go ahead and see. And this could also be other people kind of confronting you, conversations, because that's what swords is. Swords, which is arrows in this deck, are about communication as well. And sometimes it can just be somewhat even aggressive or painful. So we're just going to see what we need to know about this particular thing. What do we need to know about the Page of Swords for this coming week in our lives? Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's a beautiful message. Open window, you guys. You've got to confront. So some of us may have had a certain way of thinking about a person. The only reason I'm saying this is because this has something to do with new love, okay? It doesn't have to be love though, but it can be. Some of us have been, and the reason I know this is because there's certain thoughts that I've had about specific things, and it turns out that, wow, you know what? It wasn't what I thought. Totally fine. You know, we're all human. We all confront things. We all learn, and there's something to learn from every situation. But I know a lot of people, and I've talked to and worked with a lot of people that are really, really stuck on an idea about a person. And it's not to say that that idea can't be correct or it can't be true, but sometimes people are so focused on the dream of something, but it's not even anything that's really even happening in reality, that they can get really, really stuck, where they're closing themselves off to other opportunities for happiness. And I believe that we were put here to experience, you know, all different types of love, all different types of lessons, but we can't do that if we're just solely focused on that one thing. And especially if that one thing is kind of like not the best thing for us. Some people are really heavily focused on people that are, you know, broken themselves or even mistreating them. So it's definitely wherever we're putting our energy is kind of what we're going to get back. Whatever we're investing in, it's kind of like we're going to get the results of that. You know, so for me, this is saying that we've got to kind of confront our childish views on a situation. In a way, fantasy is kind of related to like childish energy. And it's not to say that anyone's being childish or a child, but there's something about confronting maybe old concepts, like when we were younger, when we were a kid, you know, you grow up into an adult and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I can see things a little bit differently now. I'm a lot more mature. We've got to confront old ideas is the message. And some of those old ideas we've outgrown, you guys, but some people are still just so set and so dead set on that. Nope, this is it. I refuse to believe or see it any other way. And they'll waste years or their entire lives waiting for that one person because they can't confront maybe the fact that either they got it wrong or that maybe it's something that it really isn't. And that's okay. But we have open window. The universe wants to deliver the kind of love that will blow you away and sweep you off your feet. But you must be willing to open up your heart. The wind can't come through if the window is closed. You got to open a new window. So some of you guys are really searching for the kind of love that you've always dreamed of. And Spirit's saying that until you open up your heart and open up your window in new ways, nothing new is going to come. It's going to be the same old crap, which was the fly. The spirit of the fly is around us, you guys. That is that dark fly that's telling us, oh yeah, continue to obsess about this person. Continue to put your life on hold and wait. Continue to just, get reading after reading of what this person's thinking about you and feeling about you. Those can only be helpful for so long, but if you guys aren't seeing any different results or anything shifting or changing in your life, it might be time to pull away from that kind of thinking. If it's not feeling good to you and it's not helping you, then it might be time to just pull away from that idea altogether. So the universe wants to bring you something new. So we've got to confront some ideas that we might have. We have to confront some maybe harsh truths. That's not always easy. but we have to do it, because if we don't, the two spirits that have shown up in this reading so far have been the zombie spirit and the spirit of the fly. Not good. So there is darkness that's around, but we can beat that darkness by reconnecting with our divine creator and realizing that we're not alone on this path, that we're not alone on this journey, you know? And just, you know, really, really just focusing more on letting go of things that just aren't really serving us in a positive way, and really shifting our vibration to a higher space. So that's what I'm seeing here in this reading right now for you guys. Let's see what spirit wants to come through this one. It's like I said, we've got that spirit of the zombie and the spirit of the fly. Let's see what spirit is with us for the swords energy. Air. Oh my gosh, you guys, the spirit of the wolf. Loner, fierce instincts. Guess what? You got to trust those instincts. I'm getting chills when I say that right now. Sometimes it's better to be alone. There's a difference between being alone and lonely. I feel like a lot of people are lonely and they're mistaking that for something else. But like the lone wolf, all right? The lone wolf, you can become fierce. You can start to trust yourself again. You can start to do things for yourself again. You can start to be on your own again and be okay. It might be scary for some of you guys to break away from a toxic pattern or a toxic situation or people or job or whatever this is. But I'm getting here that the spirit of the wolf is here to tell you that you're fierce, you're powerful, and you can do it. And you can definitely do it with your divine creator by your side, for sure. So this is telling us here also, I'm getting another message. The spirit of the wolf is perhaps a person that you're dealing with. A person might just be very set in their ways to where they want to be alone. They're like a terminal bachelor or bachelorette. And not that there's anything wrong with being alone, but it might be that that is their defense mechanism, that that's all they know. They have not confronted their shadow. They have not confronted their traumas. And so now they're using this false strength to separate themselves from others. So their heart is always closed. So you'll be banging on this window forever. This person's heart might be closed, and I'm just getting here that we need to start making moves to move forward so we can breathe again. So some of you guys feel like you can't breathe again. It's time to open up a new window. Oh my gosh. See, clinging on to this is not going to help you. It's not going to help you. It's that poison ivy or poison oak. I think maybe that's two or the same. I'm not sure. I'm getting poison. It's poison in your life to cling on to something, or cling on to the idea that you can change someone. You cannot change anyone. All you can do is change yourself. We've got to stop clinging on to this idea that this is this or this is that. We can't be wrong. You know, our ego is in the way and saying, if I admit that I'm wrong or confront that this idea is maybe I just didn't get it right, or that it just didn't turn out to be what I wanted it to be. Some people are so afraid of that it's just easier to cling on to the lie. I'm getting a lot of you. It is time for us to let go of that lie. Let go of the lies we've been telling ourselves. It's not doing us any good. Holding on to somebody that wants to run away doesn't... Recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. Let them go. Microphone. All right, I like this because this is talking about communication. Social media, interesting. So some of you guys could be experiencing something when it comes to social media. Maybe someone is seeing something on social media, somebody's saying something on social media. Whatever this is, it's time for us to confront this damage or this like stuff that's going on, and to say enough is enough. I'm getting for a lot of you, it's time for you to stop watching someone on social media. Stop clinging to someone on social media. That's not for everybody, because not everybody has social media. But I feel like it's time for you to just focus on yourself. It's time for you to just speak your truth. And your truth is I'm going to confront my fears. I'm no longer going to cling on to the old me. I'm going to fiercely move forward and do what's right for myself. And I'm speaking my truth. You don't actually have to tell anyone this, but you just making the shift, that energy speaks for itself. Yeah. I was just talking to a friend of mine today, and she had said something about showing instead of broadcasting. Well, I'm going to have to talk to her about that and tell her it came up in this reading, because that's very interesting. We literally just talked this morning, and that's what it was. It was be the change. It's not about telling people you've changed. It's be the change. Just be it, and you will be heard. Okay, that will be communicated. Your truth is communicated through your energy, through your spirit. You're showing someone your spirit. That's what it is. So when you're in your authentic truth, nothing can stop you. Nothing can really affect you. It can try. We might be tested, but nothing can really affect you. If you're strong in your relationship with yourself and, however you guys connect. Trust your vibes, you guys. High Priestess. There's something about keeping some things to yourself. You don't always have to communicate what you're thinking. Sometimes people think, and it's funny because I was raised this way. My mother was very much this way. Oh, baby, always talking about everything that she was thinking and feeling. And any place we went, if anybody did us wrong, ooh, man, she'd tell them. And I grew up thinking that that's what you needed to do, and you're really strong. And yes, a lot of people throughout the years have seen me as somebody who's very headstrong, outspoken. I'm also Sagittarius. That doesn't help. And you just basically tell everybody what you're thinking and feeling. But sometimes less is more. And I've had to learn that the hard way. I really have. It comes with age, and she's gotten better too with her age. But sometimes we feel like we need to say everything that we're thinking and feeling, and sometimes what we think we need to communicate is really just purely coming from our own need to be heard, or our own selfish desires to change people and to give them a piece of our mind. And it's not to say that communication, it can't be healthy, because I do feel in some cases it absolutely can be. But not every single thing that we're thinking do we need to say something. There are different ways. We can have a conversation with God. We can have a conversation to ourselves in a journal, on a piece of paper. We can talk to a friend. We don't actually have to talk or to address our issues with that particular person. Sometimes just your actions say more than anything. Okay? So trust your vibes on a situation. If somebody is not maybe communicating with you or talking to you, or you feel like, should I or shouldn't I send someone a message? Trust your vibes on this one. Trust what you're feeling. Sit with those feelings. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What am I looking to get out of this situation? Nothing is worse than deciding that you're going to reach out to someone, and you've convinced yourself that you're reaching out to this person because you, no matter what the outcome is, you'll be okay with it. And then you send a message, and then they don't message you back, and you're just like, oh my God, I feel empty. I feel triggered. I feel ignored. I don't feel heard. I feel horrible. And sometimes that's because we didn't realize that we actually did have expectations. So sometimes less is more. Sometimes not doing something is better. Okay? But trust your vibes at the end of the day. Energy really doesn't lie. Something's over. Something is over, and maybe we're refusing to accept it. We're refusing to accept that this is the end. Just yesterday, Mr. Moon and I decided that we were going to go out jeeping. And we went to this beautiful park, where there was like a pond. Well, not a pond, it's actually a lake, a huge lake, and just all this nature around or whatever. And I was on the phone. I don't want to give away too many personal details, but there's just something that's kind of coming to an end in my life. And I was on the phone with this person, and basically, they were letting me know that, they were kind of like moving on in another direction. And there was just a part of me that just, I bawled for like 30 minutes. And Mr. Moon is just sitting right next to me, kind of like, wow, this was supposed to be a great day. Like, what's going on? Kind of thing. He's like, do you want to go back home? I'm like, no, I don't. I need to be out in nature. But what was going on is I'm a lone wolf now, Things are coming to an end. Things are changing in my life. I'm all on my own again in certain areas. And I do have to trust that all of this is happening for me, not against me. It's happening for me. It's happening for my highest good, because I was on my knees, probably mid 2021, just asking for whatever is meant for me. Please allow it to come in, because I'm miserable. I'm at my wit's end. I am just terribly miserable. And I literally got on my hands and knees, just like that guy looks in that picture. That was me. And sometimes our prayers are answered in ways that don't make sense at first, but eventually it does, because everything that's happening for you or to you is for you, and it is for your highest good. And it doesn't always feel that way. So when people are clinging or trying to hold on to an old way, remember that youth, child, you're meant, a lot of us, like, we're adults now. Our pain doesn't have to define us. And I think that psychology is a wonderful thing. And I'm all about, just so you guys know, I love Dr. Romney. There's a couple of other people I listen to, the whole narcissistic abuse, childhood, PTSD, all that stuff. Absolutely, I resonate with all of it. And we can learn a lot from it. But we can also become highly dependent on the, this is what's wrong with me, instead of like addressing like what we can do and how we can pull ourselves out of that kind of phase. Like, I'm no longer a child anymore. I'm no longer there. It's time for me to start to work on this and move past it. Information is key. Once you have that information, then you can start working with it. But to stay a victim or to stay lost in a particular feeling doesn't really help anyone. So this is about, at some point, we've got to realize that we're powerless. And sometimes we have to realize that maybe there's something else. And, again, God, your divine creator, however you guys are kind of feeling that shift, that there is something for you to connect to for that peace and for that guidance. But trust your vibes, because I'm definitely not pushing any type of beliefs on anyone. I can only come forth in my readings with, my own ideas and the things that I've gone through. But I don't think, unless somebody corrects me, I guess, that I'm preachy and that I'm trying to tell everybody this is the way. Because I've seen people do this in this community before. And it's not to say anything negative about them, but it's something that I've observed. Somebody has a shift, somebody has a change. And then suddenly it's all twin flames are a delusion. All this is that. All tarot is evil. Da, 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 da. To me, nothing is really evil. Evil is in the heart of the person. Evil is in our perception of things. These cards that I'm using are just cards. I'm just reading what I'm seeing. And if anything that you feel is infiltrating evil into your life, definitely disconnect. But I pray over these cards, and I pray before I come into these readings. And it's not to say that everything is just perfectly, pure in my life and that I can't be subjected to any kind of lower vibrational energies. But it's always my, best intentions for my viewers that are receiving these messages, that you get something positive and uplifting and moving for you, for your journey. How can that be bad? Just saying. So I'm an open-minded person when it comes to all different philosophies. Just because something didn't work for me or something's just not resonating with me, it doesn't make it wrong for you guys. It doesn't make it wrong for everybody else. Yep, 7 of arrows. Look at that. 7 of arrows is a 7 of swords. I am getting for some of you guys that you have been heartbroken by people that have not been straight up, that have been two-faced, people that have lied to you, people that have cheated on you, people that have really, really betrayed you. That's the 7 of swords. So this right here is also sometimes what we don't take care of has a way of sneaking up on us. The universe, God, takes care of things that sometimes we aren't taking care of ourselves. Sometimes we are brought to our spiritual knees to say, oh my God, I knew that I should have made those changes, but I didn't. This is Spirit's way of now guiding me towards what is best for me. And that means that something has to end. Sometimes we are brought to that point, to our knees, for a reason. And it sneaks up on you if you're wasting time and you're screwing around for too long. Sometimes that's what happens. So, all right, let's get one last message on this. So for me, the swords in this is more about like our thoughts about things and maybe communication, our ideas. Okay, so we have iris, inspiration. To me, when I think of an iris, I think of our eyes, Sometimes our eyes and what we see can be deceptive. Iris encourages you to cultivate the beauty within you so you can better create and express it in the world around you. Her deeply restorative energy helps revitalize your connection to divine guidance, helping you to discover your true passions and allowing inspiration and creativity to flow. So again, if we're too busy clinging on to the old and we're not allowing things to just basically let things go that need to let go and we're just stagnating, we're not going to be inspired. We're not going to be happy individuals. Everything that we're trying to work on is just going to come to a halt. And that's just what I feel really was going on with me. And now that I have been brought to my spiritual knees and I'm just like, oh my God, there's just certain things now. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect from here on out, but my energy and my mind have just done a 180 and I just feel a lot more peaceful than I felt in a really long time. And also I'm on a good hormonal week. So we definitely have to keep that into consideration. Oh gosh. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end this reading with a Page of Cups, you guys, the Youth of Hearts, which is the Page of Cups flirtatious. So do you see, this is like there's lyrics and song and she's feeling really, really good. And she's feeling, just kind of flirty and light and airy. These are fun little things that move her soul, things that make her feel good and excited. So Page of Cups can also be offers of love or messages from people that love us, or messages about people that we have a lot of emotion or emotional investment in. So let's see what this is about. Twisted changes. I love it. All right, let's read it. Oh, yes, on this journey, lots of twists and changes. Okay, so it says, get ready for the crazy changes that are about to occur in your life. Unexpected twists and turns, unsettled emotions, broken routines, and major shifts in everyday life. A necessary reset for your highest good. That's what we've been talking about. Everything is shifting and changing and twisting right now because it is leading us to our ultimate highest good. And sometimes we want to cling on to that old because we are afraid, because we are just scared. But the Spirit's saying it's time for some twists and changes. You feel all just wound up. There's a reason for it. You got to pay attention to that energy. So let's go ahead and get some additional information. What Spirit wants to come through for this? Look at that lightning. Power, strength, and expression. It's like the lightning just darts through the cloud, right? I don't really know this for a fact, but I think it's like the air coming back together is what creates the sound of thunder. Oh my gosh, I'm going to feel like an idiot if that's not true. But anyways, the spirit of the lightning, it's like something has to cut through the BS. So we have a tornado and now we have lightning. So there's something about weather. There's changes in the forecast. So the forecast this week is that there's lots of changes. And it's not meant to be chaotic or scary, but we are being asked to be centered and to trust that everything that's happening to us is happening for our highest good. That's the message. And that is actually going to be the title of this reading. Everything that is happening for you to you is for you and your highest good. I love it. What else? 4. If you guys are seeing force this week, this is Spirit directly communicating to you, telling you that you are blessed, okay? And that your hard work and determination is actually creating a better, more solid foundation for your future. So what you are building right now, you guys, and all the changes and everything that you're going through are actually helping you to create a blessed future. So you are blessed moving forward. Even if you're experiencing things, challenges in your life, you're still blessed. Because remember, everything is happening exactly the way that it's supposed to happen for you. That's a beautiful thing. What else? Seriously? At this time, the situation is in a state of flux. Anything could happen. So when it comes to the things that, maybe when it comes to like our emotions as well as love or relationships, there's a lot of changes that are taking place. The lightning is also connected to the Tower card in tarot. And what is Tower? The Tower is sudden revelations, maybe even sometimes shocking, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that it took me this long to understand, or I can't believe that I needed this wake-up call in order to like finally understand something. There is something about a wake-up call. Could be rude awakening for some of us too, but there are changes that are happening for a reason, because we're meant to shift something up. We're meant to switch it up. Something has been stagnant for too long. We can't continue to be a zombie. We can't do it. I mean, we can, but we're not going to be happy. Ace, something more stimulating is on the horizon for you. You know, it's kind of like what I'm getting here is that you thought you were stimulated before. You thought that you felt something before. What you're going to be experiencing is even better. But the thing is, you got to put your foot into that shoe in order to step into a new experience. That's what's required on your part, you guys. You have to be willing to step into a new experience, or you're not going to be able to experience this blessed future that's on the horizon for you. Do you see this? Ace of Swords. I also see the aces as offers from the divine. This is the divine handing you this sword. The sword of strength. The sword to cut through anything that you need to in order to get to that blessed future. And if that means cutting ties with people so you can transition into a better future, then that's what it means. You got to pay attention. If you know that there's something that's dragging your life down and it's just not really doing anything positive for you, it's time to transition out of that energy. Six of Swords can be about moving, traveling, relocating, switching jobs, or just moving in your life. Maybe start exercising, exercise your physical body. All kinds of shifts and changes can happen in your, just your chemicals in your brain when we start moving. We start feeling more positive. We start feeling more energetic. So there's something where we need to start transitioning and making some moves, and Spirit's saying we've got to step into a new experience. Now you can see these two cards because I do pay attention to the way the cards line up. We have this shoe that's pointing to this direction, and then we have these people that are going this way. So we could, of course, change is challenging. It's not like all of a sudden we're going to just like close up this reading and we're just going to make changes and that we're just going to feel amazing. Some people might feel that. But some of you might be like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do that. You're going to spend some time this week is what I'm getting here from Spirit, really contemplating these new changes. And you're going to finally get to the spot where you're going to say, I can. And you're going to start seeing these glimpses of your future. And that's, I feel, what's going to be coming through those premonitions that came up earlier. You guys are going to start to get glimpses of what your new life likes, and you're going to get a taste of it, and you're going to want it, and you're going to go for it. Oh my, really? I love it. We were just talking about the Tower, and here it is, you guys. Can't make it up. Here it is. Your life is meant to be disrupted right now. It is absolutely meant to be disrupted. But these are actually blessings in disguise. It's all in the way that you look at it. So we can either cling on to the old and just try to desperately hold on to dear life, to something that needs to basically transition out of our life, so we can go towards more stimulating and exciting and more peaceful, opportunities, or we can just continue to stay with a knife in it and just feel dead inside. I choose moving forward. So let's get one last message to close up the reading. Ooh, this tough one. Milk thistle forgiveness. It's interesting because I was actually just talking to my friend this morning in regards to forgiveness. It's like, a lot in the spiritual community, you'll hear love and light, or just, forgiveness, being loving and all that other stuff. And that's a wonderful thing. Absolutely. But this forgiveness really is about having that forgiveness within yourself. You don't have to have these conversations. You don't need people to say they're sorry to you. This is just about getting to a place within yourself where you are residing in forgiveness. You're no longer holding on to hate. You're no longer blaming people for the things that have happened in your life. You realize that it's happened in your life for a reason. And it was for you to get to a place to where you could find that balance and healing that you truly needed. So they were teachers for you. And that's a great way to see things, so that way you can forgive them and not be so pissed off. But this says life has taught you to protect yourself, but sometimes you end up hurting yourself. Milk thistle helps you to let go through the power of forgiveness of all the self-imposed restrictions and defense armor that is making it hard for you to open up and receive all the love and abundance that the universe has flowing towards you. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Look at this. See? This is saying here that you've got to open up your heart so the wind can come in, so the universe can deliver the kind of love that you've been looking for. But it's going to require forgiveness of the old self, of the old people in your life, of the people that have helped serve you. So it's like this is a serving of cake. They're just a piece of the cake. They're not the whole freaking cake. It's time for us to just pull out that knife that maybe we have in someone. I remember I had a knife, not literally, this is figuratively speaking. I had a knife in someone for a very long time. Man, that was heavy. That was heavy. And I think I was mistaken with just the whole energy the whole entire time. Ended up being kind of like a trauma bond for me, or attachment, whatever. Not that, that's just how I resonated with it. But I somehow thought that if I continue to hold a dagger in this person's like energy field, that somehow, I don't know, it like made me feel like I was on top of the situation. I was in control, when really all it was doing was just hurting me. So it took me a long time to finally get to this space of forgiveness, where I realized, you know what, if it hadn't been for that person, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I'm very grateful, actually. I feel very blessed by that encounter. But that doesn't mean that I have to go and run to that person and say, I forgive you. It's an energy. It's not even about speaking sometimes, you guys. It's about just going within and keeping things to yourself. That's enough. We don't have to shout it from the mountaintops. Even though sometimes we feel like we want to do that, sometimes it's not necessary. It's just not. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed the energies and the style of reading this week. I hope that was able to resonate with somebody out there. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. All right. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.